Patreon Q&A number 99. I want to thank all 127 of my incredible patrons, guys. You know I love you by now, and I can't thank you enough. And to everyone else listening, there's going to be spoilers for all the series that I'm talking about, so tread carefully. Bryan Big Smokin asks, if Saitama wasn't around to take out Gouketsu and Elder Centipede, do you think Tatsumaki and the rest of the S-Class could still beat all of Padres plus Orochi and Psychos? Yeah. I don't see why not. I mean, you know, I love Gouketsu, and Elder Centipede is way stronger than a lot of people give him credit for. But I think Tatsumaki could definitely take care of them. I don't see at this point why she couldn't, especially her amplified feats within the manga, which, you know, are truly incredible at this point. But Orochi, you know, just regular Orochi without him being fused into Psychos and becoming Sairochi, I do think that Tatsumaki could high diff him. And I think One and Murata kind of agreed with me, you know, at least from the leaked stuff that we saw, which is going to change. I'm not spoiling anything, of course, because it already has changed. Sairochi wasn't in the plans originally, you know, at least it didn't seem that way. But, you know, if Psychos, just in her regular form, even with the elixir, you know, Tatsumaki was going to take her down either way. So if she didn't and she took down Orochi and, like, you know, it took her all of her power or something to take down Orochi and she was, like, really limited at that point, I don't see why, like, Flashy Flash couldn't, you know, clean up, you know, whatever was left after, you know, she couldn't finish for herself. You know, I mean, I just think it seemed pretty likely that even if Saitama didn't show up to take out Gouketsu and Elder Centipede, you know, Tatsumaki could have did the rest. And if she did fail and the rest of them did, you know, Blast is probably going to show up anyway. Second question, if any of the heroes in One Punch Man could do the fusion dance or use Portara earrings, who would you choose? So, come on, it's got to be Flash and Darkshine, right? You got this ultimate speed and the ultimate power and durability, just like Zombie Man says. You know, them working together. There's no better team. You know, I'm paraphrasing, but yeah, it would be incredible if they fused together. As he asks, hey, Shona, first Patreon here. This is actually the first time I've ever subscribed to a Patreon. I'm a big fan of your videos and hope you keep it up and keep your head up in these very rough times, my friend. Hey, thank you so much, Azzy. I really appreciate that. So your question was if you thought Saitama humored Garo's post-awaken forms, the full monster, the Monster King Garo, in the same way that he humored Meteoric Burst Boros. Similar, but I think it's pretty apparent that Saitama knew that the fight with Boros was going to end with him killing him. I mean, he was already pretty much unredeemable at that point because he was like, you killed everyone in this city. You know, what the hell, bro? So, and we also know that Saitama never saw Garo truly as a monster. So, yeah, he was humoring him for sure, but not in a similar degree because he was never going to kill Garo. He was just basically going to literally slap him around until he came to his senses like he did. Beowolf asks, what's up, Shonen? Back for another week. It's sometimes odd, but entertaining questionnaire. So I'm thinking we brought up this time, we wanted to touch on a Darkshine. So your question is if he broke his limiter like Saitama, and no, I really don't think Darkshine removed his limiter. Probably didn't even come to the point of, like, attempting to break it the way that we saw with Garo. It truly takes an exceptional individual to be able to remove your limiter, as indicated by Dr. Genus and even Psychos, because we've only literally seen Saitama do it, and still to this day, we don't even know if Garo truly did break his limiter because it's never explicitly stated. It's only said that his limiter is, you know, about to break. So does that mean that Awakened Garo is what his removed limiter is? I don't know. Maybe the manga will eventually shed light on this, but Darkshine is pretty much just a monster. He didn't remove his limiter. Second question, Suiko aside, now that the top 3 disciples are the closest one to the Class A rank 1 spots, do you think that Fubuki will take that spot? It's possible. I don't think she's going to take it based on power because, you know, her best feat was basically just Esper Negation, which, you know, only works against Espers. And it does seem like she has gotten stronger because of the way that she was like able to fly Psychos out of the prison, which was definitely a very improved feat than what we've seen of her before. So unless she comes back and has some newfound power or just off-panel training that she does, she really needs to prove that she is stronger than E-Iron to be able to take that spot. Chance asks, hey, Shona, I liked your new format for the Q&A videos. I couldn't stop looking at the light going around the screen. That's my plan to hypnotize all of you so I could get more watch time. For my question, let's say Luffy didn't become a pirate and followed Garp to be a marine. It's up to you if he eats his fruit from Shanks. How strong will he be and what rank? Thanks. So, great question. I'd love to make a standalone video about this in the future. I don't think Luffy would have ate a fruit if he became a marine because I don't think it was really ever Luffy's intention to eat a fruit. He kind of accidentally did it, as we saw. And I mean, he would still be an absolute beast if he didn't eat the fruit, because look at Garp. But in my opinion, I think he would be much stronger as a Marine than what he was as a pirate, because he was kind of just going along and figuring out things for himself, on his way to, becoming as powerful as he did. And we really saw that he, became extraordinarily powerful once he actually got some guidance under him and learned what observation and armament and conqueror's hockey was from Rayleigh. He would would have already had this training with the Marines and Garp, because a Garp obviously would have taken him under his wing even more so than he did Kobe. So yeah, Luffy would have been a captain very fast, in my opinion, maybe in a couple months, possibly. But regardless, he would have been an absolute savage. If he was a Marine instead of a pirate. Cool Mitch 987 asks, Sub Z, hope all is well. Hey, it is Cool Mitch. I hope it is for you too. When Blast finally makes his appearance, do you foresee him feeling the need to introduce himself, explain himself, and his strength should he face Saitama, or do you think he'll have a let's fight attitude like Saitama does? It's difficult to say because, we only know so much about Blast, but it seems like right now he's not too much of the prideful type, because if he was, he would still be at the top of the Hero Association. I mean, he still has that ranking, but that's more so the executives and everyone wanted to keep him there as more so as a symbol, it appears. So if he did have this matter of pride where he needed to make everyone apparent that he was the most powerful, or if he was however, we want to illustrate him here, he would still be active, in my opinion. And he is kind of humble, and, he doesn't like being in the limelight and everything. So I don't think he would be like that. Although I think he would probably talk with Saitama before saying, let's just fight. Because if he is truly the bearded worker, then he is aware that Saitama is exceptionally powerful. Crusader Deus Vult as Deus Vult, handsome Z-Man, 'tis I, Crusader. I hope your week is going great, and you are great, and you find a secret lover. Hey, I have many secret lovers, but thank you. My first question is, do you think Flashy Flash Lightspeed Slash could cut through anything, like if it hit Vibranium or Animanium? This is the $1 million question, and I talk about this in my Flashy Flash versus Darkshine video. I just don't know. I don't know the rules to the Flashy Slash or the Lightspeed Slash. They're never really made apparent. Yeah, he does cut through Hellfire and Gale, but it's like, how far does it go? Is his sword more powerful than others? I mean, I guess it kind of is, but the way that he uses it, the speed at which he's moving, it's like, can he cut through Overgrown Rover? Can he cut through Elder Centipede? I just don't know at this point. We need more information on this type of stuff for me to give you an accurate answer on this. Second question is, if you drop Meruem from Hunter x Hunter into the One Punch Man world, who could he defeat and who do you think would take him out? Also, keep it being a swolely great hero. Thank you, Deus Ex. So, I don't know Meruem's feats. I've only watched his fights against Netero once or twice. I mean, he's obviously super powerful. Minimum dragon. But that's all I can really tell you at this point. I haven't gone into him. If anybody wants me to try to scale Meruem, come to my Twitch stream on Tuesday. We're doing disaster levels. Derek asks, hey, Shona, new to Patreon. I love your content so much. I had to support. Hey, thank you, Derek. I appreciate that, bruh. My question is, Gigantomachia or Super Ally Darkshine? Probably Darkshine. I think he could take it. It wouldn't be easy. Gigantomachia has some outrageous feats, as we have seen, and he has some crazy durability to himself as well. But I think Darkshine, he's just probably going to edge him out in the strength and durability department. I think that's fair to say. Although, Gigantomachia doesn't feel pain, and he has, the crazy dog-like mentality to him. But, I mean, if he doesn't get to the point of breaking Darkshine's will, I don't see why Darkshine wouldn't be able to high diff him or, push him to a similar level that maybe Carnage Kabuto did, possibly. Dino W asks, hey, Shona, back for this week's Q&A. First question is, if all of the Nomus went up against the House of Evolution, which group would come out on top? So, great question. I mean, I think most of the Nomus, taking into consideration the high ends, are probably stronger than everyone in the House of Evolution besides, Beast King and Carnage Kabuto, of course. And I'm not even taking into consideration Mosquito Girl, because her having all of the blood is, super stipulation heavy, but we'll throw her in there anyway. Why not? I guess it's going to come down to the USJ Nomu, Hood, and the other, the powerful high-end Nomus, and if they can take down Carnage Moon, Carnage Kabuto or not. I mean, I don't know, because the USJ Nomu is such a beast. He's such a beast, man. He has that shock absorption, super speed, and Carnage Kabuto's feats are never too clear, you know, and we have to go off of the VGS for a lot of the stuff, which I'm kind of not liking as time goes on more and more. I used to be a big fan of it, but now it's just so convoluted that it kind of annoys me to. But I don't know. Maybe Carnage Kabuto could defeat them possibly. It would be really competitive in my opinion. Second question, what are your favorite to least favorite Spider-Man films? So this is another good question. Here's the list. I think Far From Home is the best Spider-Man movie in my opinion. I loved it. I think I might watch it again. And then the worst is obviously the Garfield ones. Free-Tshirts asks, yo, Shona, was wondering if the Garo fight coming up soon, do you think that Garo is going to get an exclusive manga-only form? And if yes, what would the form be? Take care. Hey, you too, Free-Tshirts. So we're kind of looking at a manga-exclusive form of Garo right now, I suppose, you know, with the spiral and the spike your hair and the double black eyes. I mean, that wasn't in the webcomic, so I guess this is it, but are we going to see another form before Weekend Garo? Probably, because like in the webcomic, when he gets to the surface, his aesthetic does change once again. It kind of happens before that too, but it's made more apparent afterwards, I suppose. Like his hair starts taking on the form of horns. Right now, he kind of has like Super Saiyan 2 hair, but I mean, if you notice, like when he's going against Darkshine and when he rips through like Black S, like he has like his hair is like, you know, like somebody took a whole bunch of like gel and just made it into like Jim Carrey spikes. But then he kind of has like the little tuft of hair in the middle of his scalp, you know. So I mean, I guess that's indicating it's got to get to, you know, it's like a slow transformation to seeing like the literal horns that Awakened Garo's form has. So I'm sure the Murata will do something like that. GardenShed asks, hey Shona, hope you're having a good day. Hey, I am, and I hope you are too, GardenShed. My friends had a conversation about who the UA trader is. They thought it was Toru, but also Aoyama knew about it. So there's definitely something suspicious about Aoyama, because if you go all the way back to the student training camp arc, Dabi spots Aoyama hiding behind that bush or whatever, and then he doesn't do anything to him. Like he just gets distracted by it twice, and then he kind of just goes away. He clearly saw Aoyama there. And as we know, Dabi is not a good guy at all. And he reaffirmed that recently in the manga, that he is all about like just straight up anarchy and just killing everyone. So I think it's unlikely that maybe he had a moment of morality there, or Aoyama is somehow integrated into the traitor stuff. But regardless, I think the full-blown traitor is definitely Hagakure. I think that holds the most water here, simply because she's super mysterious. She's invisible, so that could play into her being not a kid. Maybe she's like in her 20s or something, acting as a kid. And also, she has the least development of all of Class 1A. I'm pretty sure she does. Like, even Sato has more development and more dialogue than her. She has some of the least dialogue of all the characters in the series, so this could be Horikoshi's way of not getting us too emotionally connected to her, so that when she is revealed that she is the traitor, we're let down easier, you know? Garret M asks, hey Z-God, I just upgraded from the $5 to the $8 tier to support you, the Holy Z. Hey, thank you, Garret. I truly appreciate that, bro. First question this week is, why do you think the One Punch Man universe only takes place on one of the continents? Did something drive them away from it? Yes, it absolutely did. Go back to chapter, I think it's like 119, when Amai Mask explains the history of the world to Saitama. He says that literally the monsters pretty much drove everyone to the center of the supercontinent. So if there is anything over there, it's going to be some powerful monsters that kind of just have taken over that land. At least that's what it kind of seems like at this point. I'm not saying there's gods over there, disaster level gods, you know, probably not, but, you know, dragons for sure. Second question, if you had to choose one other anime to be on the other side of the continent, what would it be? Dragon Ball Z. Come on. I want to see Dragon Ball Z go against One Punch Man. I want to see, you know, them actually having to realistically play out their feats and not so much speculation. General KnoX Fan asks, yo, man, I just wanted to tell you to go watch and read the Baki series. I think you'll love it. It's sort of more like a realistic DBZ mixed with Hajime no Ippo, but not for children. Hey, that's a great way to describe Baki. I mean, I'm aware of it, and I've seen some clips of it for sure. And I promise everyone, I will eventually get around to reviewing Baki. When that time will come, I don't know. I have a lot of other things on the waiting list before Baki, but it is one of them for sure, because you guys are always vocal about it, And, you know, I'm not going to try to let you guys down with that. And it does seem like something I would be interested in for sure. And, you know, and the creator of Baki is a fan of bodybuilding, and so am I. So we got those parallels as well. Geruda asks, hey, Shonen, what's your favorite Devil Fruit One Piece and why? Thanks. So it's got to be the Goro no Mi, you know, the Rumble Fruit or whatever, the Lightning Logia that NL has. Oh, my God. I just love it because it's just so extremely overpowered. And just the abilities that he's able to do and everything that comes with it. The aesthetic is awesome as well. Yeah, Oda kind of wasted it on a Nell, but I'm sure there's a purpose for it. But that fruit is definitely worthy of an Admiral or a Yonko for sure. It's just so cool. I can't wait to see more of it in the future when he comes back. Joe D asks, hey Z, hope this week is finding you well, my friend. You're staying healthy. Hey, I'm trying, Joe D, and I hope you are too. Question 1, in the One Punch Man universe, training and talent can create insane results. That being said, what real-life fighter or athlete do you think has the best chance of becoming the S-Class? So fighters, of course, we're going to have to look at the top of the gene pool. You know, the top pound-for-pound fighters, you know, like Izzy, Habib, John Jones, guys like that. They all have the potential. But if we're really looking for, like, the best cream of the crop athletes in the world, you're usually going to have to look at the NFL or the NBA. Like, that's where all the best talent funnels to, because that's where all the money is. And, you know, they have all the talent factories in college and whatnot. It's not common for us to see guys over like 6'4" being able to move as if they were like 5'4", 120 pounds. Same thing with like football players. Like there's some football players that are like 5'10", 300 pounds, 30% body fat, but they can move as if they're like half that size. It's just truly genetic specimens that we have among us. And that's kind of the narrative with Darkshine, I suppose, right? It's said that Darkshine had a whole bunch of other like athletic endeavors and stuff before he became a hero. This is kind of like just another path on Darkshine's journey, so I guess it would be similar to that. Question 2, love seeing the Twitch stream and just wondering what else you have planned for the channel. Hey, thank you for coming to the Twitch stream, Joe. I appreciate that. So the rest of the channel in 2020, we have the big face reveal coming up sooner than later. That's going to drastically change the channel, like a huge paradigm shift. Everything is going to change at that point. And then as just for the content, I'm going to go more into One Piece once I complete my training with that, which hopefully will be soon. And then in December, I'm going to, you know, lean heavier into Dragon Ball stuff just so I can make like videos to compare it to One Punch Man and other things like that. JustBlazeYT asks, what's up, Senpai Z? My first question is, how many high dragons do you think it would take to defeat Tatsumaki? It would take a lot. Because we literally saw like multiple high dragons going against her, at least in the webcomic, and she was not really struggling that much, honestly. So, man, it would take a lot of high dragons to defeat her. And also, if you go back to like when Zombie Man is like trying to figure out how to defeat a Wagengaro, he says like it's going to be pointless to have like a whole bunch of people trying to take down one huge monster. Like the illustration was like a whole bunch of people with spears going against an elephant. He was like, what we really need is another elephant to go against an elephant. And I think that's kind of what you need with Tatsumaki. Like you need like somebody like Sairochi to be able to beast her rather than like an army of beasts, if that makes sense. Second question, do you think Tatsumaki can beat the entire S-Class without Blaster King? Yes. Well, no, you would have to remove Metal Knight as well, because I think he's another X factor that's unaccounted for. Like his full potential might be able to rival Tatsumaki, just in theory, you know, especially considering that he's going to be like an adversary towards the later part of the series, I suppose. But yeah, I think for the most part, without like Metal Knight, Blast King, she could probably take them. Kohler R asks, hey Z, hope you're doing well. Hey, thank you, Kohler. I've been thinking of a theory for a while that most of the S-Class heroes are actually monsters. For example, we've already seen Zombie Man, My Mask, and Darkshine, Watchdog Man, Metal Bat. So yeah, I've been talking about this for months. I just haven't dropped a video on it yet, but I literally say these same exact things that you just wrote down in the Mastar Media collab that I just did. So yeah, we're thinking kind of parallel here, except for Metal Bat. I don't think he's a monster the way that they are, although he probably has some kind of monster ability, you know, with his fighting spirit stuff. But yeah, I'll eventually get around to dropping the video, you know, explaining the theory in detail and everything. But Watchdog Man will probably get his own, you know, individual video because he deserves more than just 2 minutes. L asks, virtual pinky promise to us patrons and early subscribers since the days of Juan D. Only the occasional cringy mouth agape thumbnail when you do your face reveal. Hey, if I ever do the mouth agape cringe thumbnail, it will be ironically. Anyway, Tank Top Master, is the tank top a placebo or is the tank top a real deal? I don't know. This is one of the biggest mysteries in One Punch Man, in my opinion, and it ultimately comes down to, I think, what we're going to see in the future with Tank Top Master. I hope that he's not just a full-blown gag character and there is some substance to him. I'm just so confused by this guy. I mean, maybe the tank top could have some kind of supernatural properties to it, and it was just played off as a joke this whole time. That would be funny, but there is the possibility that it's just a gag. Legandaryus asks, hey Shonen, do you think that Monaka is actually a Geruda drone? They have similar designs. No. Because, like, it has its... Monaka has her own personality and everything. And, like, you know, a gray area of morality. So I don't think... I mean, it could be, of course, but that would be really impressive if, like, Psychos is fighting Tatsumaki and, like, fighting off Orochi and all that stuff. Meanwhile, just also psychically controlling Monako and giving her, like, a personality and everything. I think it's more likely that Monako is just, like, is still going to be unredeemably evil possibly in the future, or, you know, she's going to become one of the little mini gang members with, like, Overgrown Rover and Black S in the future. But I don't think she's, like, an actually being controlled drone by Psychos. If you could make a different way to gain strength in One Punch Man, what would you make? I would make it so that some magic system is introduced and not psychic powers. Hey, you know what? I agree with you, Legandaryus. I think that's probably, like, the main thing that might be missing from, like, the power aspect of One Punch Man, and it's not too outlandish to think that that would be capable of, you know, considering all of the supernatural stuff that's going on within that world. And I don't know, maybe magic is kind of touched on at the beginning of chapter 119, I think it is, you know, like when Saitama goes after that random dragon and all of the keepers of the gems and the stones and the, you know, all that crazy stuff. That was kind of dipping into, like, magic territory, right? So I think it would be pretty cool if that was an added aspect, like they had some kind of ability to, like, tap into, like, almost like I don't know, maybe like a Full Metal Alchemist type ability. Lindu K asks, hey Shonen, how's everything going during quarantine? I mean, it's going as good as just as anybody else. We're all trying to get through this, and you know, as for it going down in the US soon, I don't know about that. I'm thinking we got, like, at least another 6 or 7 months to this, at least for the US, because, you know, how everything is here. My freedom. My question for this week is, do you subscribe to the theory that Saitama has literally limitless power? So this is, like, such a loaded question. I'm not saying you are giving me a loaded question. I'm just saying this in general. I'm going to make a video about this. I've said it before, how powerful Saitama. In December, I'm going to go everything with the limiter and all that stuff. But as I see it right now, removing your limiter allows you to, you know, increase your power limitlessly. It doesn't mean that you are now omnipotent, because that wouldn't make sense. Because why would if Saitama was omnipotent, he wouldn't need to give effort at all. He could just, I don't know, blink and destroy everyone. You know what I mean? At this point, it just seems like he has the ability to increase his power as much as he wants. Napay69 asks, hey Shonen, I'm back supporting you on Patreon. Hey, thank you, bro. I appreciate it. My question for this week is, what would SpongeBob's disaster level be from the movie Sponge Out of Water? So I assume you're talking about, like, the end sequence when he becomes, like, 3D and he has, like, those superpowers. Believe it or not, he's really not that powerful. I mean, his feats are kind of cool. Like, his speed feats are, like, the most impressive ones. The way that he's able to avoid those cannonballs and all of that stuff. And that, like, bubble ability he has is pretty significant. But his durability is extremely lacking. Like, he goes down after getting hit with one of those cannons. So he's, like, high tiger. Maybe low demon. Phoenix Man asks, reading Shonen, how have things been this week? Hey, they've been fantastic, Phoenix Man. I hope they are for you as well. Call me a Jehovah's Witness, because I'd like to take a moment to talk to you about God, but in One Punch Man, of course. Do you think it's possible that the God Homeless Emperor saw and the entity that Psychos witnessed are two separate beings? No, I don't think that is the case. Is it possible? Of course. I'm not going to discredit that there's no chance of that happening, but the way that I see it right now is there's a pretty straightforward narrative that God is just this one dude, you know, set up in the beginning, and they're going to fight him at the end. If there is two gods that are conflicting, like one wants to save the earth, one wants to destroy it, that would be interesting, but there's just, I don't feel that there's ever been any evidence put forth that that is the case. I mean, I could be wrong, But I think we're looking at Murata kind of meddling with the story here and making things more confusing than they need to be. Rudyhawk asks, what's up, Z? Short and sweet question here. If you could choose any anime or manga to redraw by Murata, which would you do? That's a great question. I wouldn't want to waste it on Dragon Ball because it's fine the way that it is. Toriyama, I think he did a fantastic job with the manga. I don't think it needs to be redone, honestly. Maybe Mob Psycho, because it's pretty much just a better version of the One Punch Man webcomic, at least art style. So it would be pretty cool to see Murata just adapt Mob Psycho into like a One Punch Man-esque manner, even though the anime did it great justice as well. Aside from that, maybe One Piece. That's what I choose. One Piece. I want Murata to do One Piece. I think that would be incredible. ThighsOfZeus asks, hey, Sweet of Svound Sonic. This week I thought I'd scratch the perpetual blast itch of yours. Do you think that the spikes his hair is a result of his powers, like his eye blast being too powerful? Could this give a universe explanation of why his face is heavily shadowed in Tat's flashback, since the eyes leave temporary scorching marks I don't think so. I think his hair, it was kind of just maybe his aesthetic that he had at the time, because he was younger and he was like, hey, I'm going to spike my hair up. Or it could be like Tatsumaki, like when she powers up, she gets a Super Saiyan-esque hairdo. So it could be something similar to that. But as for the face being shadowed, I mean, it's, just because he wants to leave his identity ambiguous because, he's not ready to reveal him yet. Just my opinion. For the second question, I wanted to know your top 5 most hyped anticipated upcoming moments in the manga and the webcomic that you think are coming between now and December 2021. Thanks, Sean. I hope you're doing well, man. Hey, thank you, ThighsOfZeus. I hope you are well, too. Bang taking out Fear, Ugly, and Gums. I hope that doesn't change. I'm really looking forward to that. Looking forward to the Wave Motion Cannon. Looking forward to the moments before the Wave Motion Cannon with King just clowning on the cadres. That's going to be amazing. And, I guess we'll see Awakened Garo appear by December 2021 at least. Maybe we'll even get the fight by then. Water Bottle asks, has shown, where would you place Melzargard in terms of strength compared to the Monster Association cadres? So he's right up there with the cadres. Melzargard could easily be a cadre. He's pretty powerful and has, awesome significant abilities. He would be like mid, level cadre. He wouldn't be in like the top 4 probably, like Overgrown River, Gouketsu, Black S, Evil Natural Water. He would be below them, but still, no chump. I would rate him higher than Homeless Emperor. Wolffire54 asks, yo, Shonen, this is my first Q&A here, and I'm a longtime fan of your channel. I'm excited I can finally be able to get to your Patreon account. Hey, thank you so much, Wolffire. I appreciate you finally taking the jump to come and support your boy. So your first question is, if we got an arc where we saw Saitama training all the way to removing his limiter, how would I change anything to his rise of power? Honestly, I wouldn't. And the reason that we don't see it is because it would just be, kind of repetitive. Like, we already saw what Saitama was doing in the, what was it? I forget the name of it already. The bonus chapter where he fights the incarnation of the electric light string. It pretty much would just be that over and over again. Like him going out, looking for monsters he has no business fighting, and then super high diffs them, and then probably gets a Zenkai boost as a result. And it would be, rinse and repeat until he gets so strong where, it progressively gets, less and less of a struggle. I don't think he would have, like, that struggle with Garo because, Saitama is morally sound, very strong mentally. Garo literally wanted to be a monster, but also was holding on to his humanity at the whole time. So that's why you have that contrast between the two characters. And in my opinion, it would kind of disrupt the narrative if Saitama had to go through the same struggle. Second question. In the sense that it is stated in the webcomic that the supercontinents and the main characters live on are made up of different people from different nationalities, what do you think are some of the characters' true nationalities? Yes, I'm aware what Murata said about all of them, and I never took it into consideration that what he's saying actually could make some sense. I thought he was just talking about how they look, like, aesthetically, but, considering that all of the nations of the world came together and they unified the languages, I guess most races mixed together at that point, or at least are all living in unison. So, Tatsumaki and Fubuki being French, could have some, bearing to it. Yeah, I'm on board with King being American, just my opinion, because I like King and I myself and I'm American, but I would also like it if Suiko and Suiryu were Italian. Yeah, I'm on board with what Murata said about their nationalities. So that's pretty much it for the video today, guys. Once again, I want to thank all 127 of my incredible patrons. Guys, thank you so much. And if you would like to be in next week's Q&A, just simply check out the Patreon. $5 tier will give you access to this video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe as well. And I also have a Twitch channel. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next one.